Okay, here's something that I did not do any kind of start video on. I have done quite a bit of work to it. Chris Cortell, I blame you for this, of course. Chris showed on Facebook that he was building this, and this is a different version of the one he has, I believe, because I have different decals than what he has. He showed that he was building his, and I thought, I was like, I better take a look at my decals and see how they look. And I was very surprised at my decals, and because they don't look so good. This was a brand new unopened kit when I just ripped the plastic off of it and I wanted to check the decals. It's been stored out here. Here's what my decals look like, and you can see that they are considerably yellowed. I mean, they look bad. I'm going to try, but I don't think putting them in the window will do a lot of good. I'm going to do and I can't think of the name of it now. Start the video and I can't think the name of it. Anyway, I'm going to do one of the yellow and black stripes. I start to say tiger stripes, but I don't think this is the tiger stripe deal here, because it has the tiger. But I'm going to do the yellow and black stripes. And the reason I'm going to do this one is because I've seen a picture of one that I really liked, and this is what it looked like. And so I'm going to do mine. Like I say, all I got to do is save just a few of these decals, a couple of numbers. I think it's the O2, I believe, is the one that I need to save, and then these here, and I think it's that. But we'll delve into that later. So, and I just knocked something all to hell. Anyway, I haven't cut any of the holes out because I'm putting flickering LEDs in mine, and now my screen's too dark. Having a hell of a time here. I do have the Don's Light and Magic upgrade set, and I tell you, it's a sad time now. Don's Light and Magic, I guess we have to resort to, and I'm not saying resort in a bad way, but we have to go with like Green Strawberry, and there's a couple other guys that's working on upgrade parts. But I was real partial to Don's stuff. But anyway, here is the clear parts for the engines, which I have already opened up. There we go. I've already opened those up to do the clear insert in them. And like I said, I've got all the parts pretty much cleaned up. I just got to start doing some painting and assembly. Here's another upgrade part. This is the kit supplied. There we go. This is the kit supplied cockpit. If my camera will do some focusing. There we go. And then here is the Don's Light and Magic upgrade part, and I have masks. This is the mask set here. This is just a diagram of the masks. I actually cut these out and I got vinyl masks to go in here and mask off all the instrument panels, and then spray it and everything, and then light it from behind, and then all the instrument panels will light up. Got some LEDs here. I know these are blue LEDs, but I don't think those are not the flickering ones. And here's what I've got. All I've got assembled so far is this is the back of the cockpit section. The cockpit actually goes this way. Cockpit inserts here, and then this piece goes in like so. Then your cockpit goes right directly in front of it. I've still got to open these up. I'm going to open the ones up on the side. This is going to be a steady on blue. The one in the back is going to be flickering. You'll have an engine here and an engine up here. So the 4 in the back will be flickering. The 4 up front will be steady on, and then the maneuvering thrusters, if you will. Like you got the one on the bottom, and then one on the side on each one. So you have, there's 2 and then 4. So there'll be 4 on each side, 8 total on the maneuvering thrusters. What I'm going to do is just open up a little bitty hole, and then I have already cut and bloomed some fiber optic. And pardon the nastiness under my nails. I've been working in the yard. You can't really tell it, but this end of the fiber optic has been bloomed. And all I'm going to do is cut it to length, and then just, it's already going to be glowing blue inside here because of the LED that I'm going to have in here. And then this will just slide right down through the maneuvering thruster housing, which is here. Nope, take that back. That's not the maneuvering thruster. Here it is. I'm sorry. There's the maneuvering thruster. And as you can see, I've already drilled holes in there for the fiber optic to drop in. So there'll be a tiny little blue light in each one of the maneuvering thrusters. Now, I stole one of Chris Cortell's ideas. I'm sorry, but they say that copying someone is a form of flattery, and I don't remember the exact terminology of it, but he used the polar lights swivel base, and you can, I don't know if you can tell it or not, if I can get it to show, and I can, of course, but there's a hole. Oh, can't see it, but anyway, I drilled a hole all the way through the ball joint and everything, and this is what I've come up with for the base. And then I've already got the brass tubing, which I'm gonna paint that black, and then this will just slip over it. The tubing is actually a slightly smaller than the polar lights part, but I'm going to glue it into position. I want it kind of in a banked position, but there's only so far I can go because I don't want it to pinch the wires in there. But that's it on the Babylon 5 Star Fury. I can't do a good enough job here putting it in frame. Like I said, I didn't do a start video on that, so this is more or less the part 1. There you go, part 1. Got a little bit done to the Star Fury. Yeah, it looks like a medieval type creature with all the wires shoving out the front, or sticking out the front, but all those will be cleaned up and into the back. None of this is glued together. I was working out the lighting to get it like I wanted. Sound like we got some thunder. But the LEDs, I got one Stadion blue 3mm that shines to the front, 5mm flickering that shines out the back. I tied the wires together here. I made a splice and then soldered everything and heat shrinked them. And I only have 2 wires coming out, so I got 8 wires. I got 2 wires from each wing that meet up in the middle, and all that will be cleaned up and shoved into the back of the cockpit area. That way I can just insert the cockpit from the front, and it'll hide all the wires, which I'll get them all tucked back in there. I'll go ahead and fire it up. Like I say, it's not nowhere near finalized, but I've got you see I got the Stadions in the front and then the flickering in the back, and I've got to go in and line up the LEDs. This one here is kind of shooting out toward the side a little bit, so I've got to go in there and finagle it around. And all of these LEDs are going to be glued into position. I've already got, I think it's the top wing is glued in. I've got to go in and glue in the bottom. And so this black tape, electrical tape, it's a vinyl, black vinyl electrical tape. Good God, I can't even talk. I've just got that there to corral the wires and to keep them where I need them until I can get get these wing inserts in. They go in under here, and I think this is one for the top wing. But they go in there and they'll hide all those wires, and I don't want to turn it around too much because I'm gonna end up gluing it to the base. But yeah, I just wanted to show where I'm at the moment. Going to next thing up on the agenda, like I say, I'm going to glue in all the LEDs, get them positioned like I want, and then glue them into place, and then I'm going to come back in and put these inserts in. There will be a seam from the edge of this, so I'm going to do the putty work on that. None of this is glued together. The top is just, you can see the blue tape there, and I've got blue tape on the back of it here to just kind of mock everything up. I wanted to make sure that all my LEDs were positioned correctly. Let me show you real quick. I've got a couple inserts here. Here's the cones that go on here. These are the back engine nozzles, and these are the front. These will go on here, and so you'll have the blue steady on up front, and then in the back it will be the flickering blue LED. So, and the inserts are blue. So I'm going to go in and sand that, frost, but sand it flat. That'll automatically frost it on all of them. They're kind of shiny. So when I sand them flat, that will help diffuse the light, disperse it a little better. I got some more work done on the Babylon 5 Star Theory. Got all the seams taken care of. Just got to shoot it with a primer. I'm going to shoot all this on the inside here with Stynol Res Black, so I have all the nice shadows and stuff in there before I glue the parts on. Just go here like this. That way I don't have to worry about trying to flood paint back in there. I'll already have it done. Then I'll start gluing these wing tips on, or the other halves of the engines on, I should say. Yeah, that went actually pretty good, and you can see how I done that. I got one LED going to the front and a bigger 5mm LED going to the back. Done that on all four of them. Just made a little bracket. I want to show you something that's just, to me, it's just stupid. I don't know why they would do this. On the instructions here, it says, if you want a better looking model, more or less, you drill out the guns, which that's a given, but then it says, there's a gap on the inside of the guns that shows when the gun mounts up there. You can see it plain as day, especially on the lower guns. And I got something I need to say about the lower guns too, but you got to fill that in with putty, so you can have a better looking model. Why couldn't they done that? What was the purpose of leaving that big large cavity there? So I got to fill all four guns that way. And the instructions are incorrect on mounting the guns. I looked at pictures and everything. I've done a lot of research on it. Evidently this model here is wrong, because it shows putting the larger guns under the top wing. And then over here on this other page, it shows putting the smaller guns under the lower wing. Well, you got this big knob hanging off the back. You can see where I drilled out the guns. Come on. and then you got this big knob hanging off the back here that won't let you, there's no possible way that it will fit on there. So the instructions are wrong, because the larger guns has this little piece here at the end that mounts right up under the wing. You know, you got one on one side, one on the other side, and this is what I'm talking about. You can see where I drilled the two holes out for the guns. Well, there's that big cavity, and then hang on, let me get the cockpit glass. Like, you know, here's the cockpit glass. Well, the gun mounts right down here, so you can see where that cavity. And this is how the gun mounts under the lower wing. So, you know, I don't know why my phone don't want to focus. But hang on, piece of garbage, I swear. Come on. Anyway, you got to fill in that cavity, because it mounts, you know, this is the front of the Star Fury, like right here, you know, like this. Well, you know, then you got that gun, and there's the cavity, just plain as day. You know, it's aggravating as hell to me when, you know, companies do stupid crap like that. But that, so far, that's all I've found. Everything is actually going together pretty good now that I got the, you know, how I was going to put the LEDs. Once I got that figured out, you know, things have just been rocking and rolling. Other than the last update, I've only, you know, this is the second day that I've worked on this, and, you know, like I say, that it's just going together really good. But I got to clean all that wires, all those wires. One little thing, when you put this in, this is the top part of it. You got this little gap here. This, you know, instead of this going all the way across here to mount flush with the top of the wing, it actually leaves a little gap there. And it's a trick to get these wires moved up where they don't interfere with this back plate right here, and then get them to where they go in that gap. I mean, it's crazy. You know, I'm having difficulty getting the wires up here, because now I got one, which I'm gonna have to push it back in there a little bit, I think is what I'm gonna have to do. But I got the resistor is right there for the 5mm LED is what it is. So I'm just going to tuck that back in there. But yeah, getting all that worked in there so I can get this mounted in there flush. And then I got that seam right there that's going to have to be taken care of. Good Lord, I don't know what is wrong. This thing don't want to focus. I feel like Benny, Fubar Model Yard, you know, he can't ever get his phone to cooperate. But yeah, I'll get it. It's not that big a deal. It's just, yeah, a little frustrating. Hang on, there we go. Yeah, that's it. It's I don't want to turn the air on out here in the shop. It is very muggy today. We are under severe weather watch, tornado warnings, and high winds. But it's hot and muggy, and that and the combination of, you know, I'm not feeling the greatest today, so I'm gonna give up on this for right now. Got a lot of work done to the Star Fury. It's all in black primer. Got everything sealed up, and it's actually ready for paint. Got the wires tucked in. The wire that you see hanging out the front here, that's actually going to go to the cockpit. And I've decided to go ahead and use the opaque cockpit. I was going to use this one. This is my clear one, and you can see I got a couple of the, 3 of the masks on there for the instrument panels. Yeah, getting those to stick was very, very difficult, and I've got more that needs to go into the back there on either side of the headrest, and they just will not stick. So if I can't get the instruments to light up like I want them, I'm going to chunk that one back in the box, and I've got this one primed up. A little bit of light here. Got this one primed up, and what I'm going to do is I got a I want to say it's an 805 SMD hanging out the front there. That's a green one. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to drill a hole right in the top of it just for that SMD to sit into, and that'll cast a green light down in there. This is all ready to start detail painting, and I've got the pilot is primed and ready to, come on camera, is primed and ready to start painting. All he's going to be is gray and black, and I'm not going to try to put the decal on the helmet. You know, I'm not a glutton for punishment, and so I'm just going to paint the visor black, and he's got a black strap, and then his gloves and his boots would get painted black. Everything else gets like a neutral gray. And there it is. I realized I forgot to prime something else. All the parts have been primed except for the front guns, and I meant to glue those on before I primed it, and I was over there in the paint booth priming it, and then I realized that I didn't have the guns glued on it, but by that time it was too late. I already had primer shot on it, and I did not prime the canopy, so I've got to go back in and do that. The canopy is going to be black anyway. As you can see from the pictures back here, this is what I'm shooting for. So it's going to be a lot of dark grays and black framework, and just, you know, like the around the canopy is black, and then the detail on the engines, that will all be done with dry brushing, with the exception of this. All those parts are actually indented, so I'm going to have to reverse the process. I'm going to have to paint it gray and then dry brush the black over it, but it's no big deal. Some of my parts are still a little wet. They just come out of the paint booth, but I got all the engine nozzles and all the wings. I don't know what they're called. All the wingy thingies that go on the thrusters. Got all that primed, and I got the maneuvering thrusters here. All that's primed and ready to go. You can see the holes in those. That's where the fiber optics is going to go. So that's where we are at the moment. I wish I could stop saying we. There ain't no we in here. It's just me. Unless I'm multiple personality, then there's like 3 or 4 of us, and we argue all the time. But I'm going to go ahead and start doing. I've got some. You know, some of you guys know I got a vinyl cutter. So what I've done is I made some painting templates, and it's just kind of like generic plating, if you will, that I'm going to try to put on here to give some detail. I'm going to lay it down and then shoot some white. What I'm planning on doing is shooting some white in there, and then come back and do a blending coat with a dark gray. And just kind of, it's still going to be really, really dark, and the white panels that I put on are going to give it the accent, sort of like the picture in the background. But we'll see how it turns out. If it don't work, then hell, I can shoot it all black again. It's no big deal. But everything is ready to start detail painting and start putting it together. So that's going to be the next step. And the Star Fury is done. A lot of fun with this. It is a little more gray than what I had started out to do, but I like how it turned out. I didn't want to go all black that was in the pictures. The more I looked at it, you know, it was a little bit too dark for me. The detail, I painted most of the detail on, as far as decal wise, the stripes, the 02, all of those have been painted on, and I'll zoom in just a little bit. I say I will. There we go. So I used I made a template to do like hull plating on the ship, and you can see underneath the wing here, you can see, and let me zoom in a little bit more. You can see like the hull plating under there and on the side of the engine here, all across the top, all around there. The modeling look that you see, that's a template that I made up. This is what I did. Made it up, and I just laid it down and shot. It was you seen it when I had it all primed black, and then I come back in with a light gray, Vallejo light gray, and done all the paneling on it. And then I shot, this is ocean gray, that is what's on top of it, the final color. It was just misted on. I didn't go heavy on it. Some places I went a little too heavy, but it still looks pretty good. And for now, what you guys have been waiting on, I know I'm going to go ahead and switch the lights on. Let's see if I can turn these off. And yeah, there we go. That'll work. Green LED, or I'm sorry, SMD in the cockpit. These are Stadion 3mm blue LEDs, and you can see the fiber optic that I put in each one of the maneuvering thrusters. There's 2 on each engine, so got that's a 1mm fiber optic that I put in the holes there, and then on the back side, and it's a little bit, let me lower the camera a little bit. There we go. You can see all 4 engines are flickering. So all in all, like I say, this was a very fun build, and here you can see the fiber optics. It's in all the thrusters, the 2 here and the 2 on the top on both sides. So, and like I say, this was it was kind of a slow build, because with me, I needed to figure out how exactly I was going to get the effect here to keep the flickering from being in the front engines and stuff. But it was a simple bracket that I made. Got one 5mm pointing toward the back, and then in the same bracket I just made like a little U-shaped bracket, and then in the front of it is a 3mm pointing toward the front. In the instructions, these directional, I forget what they call them now. Hang on. It just says aft thruster assemblies, the directional vanes, if you will, is very vague. The ones on the outside, the bigger ones, it shows pretty decently, but the ones on the inside, it's kind of vague to me. I couldn't really make out how they were to be assembled, so I'll just leave one of them off. So I just put them on there how I thought they should look, and that's what I went with. So, but another one in the books. Got another little project coming up. It's something that I've started on. It's another one of those stalled projects, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. I still have the Star Destroyer on the table on the other side over here. We'll be working on it. But I'm gonna go ahead and start on this next project. So, But that's it. I hope you guys like it. Really enjoyed this build. Love the results. You know, I love the way it turned out. And I don't know what else to say. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.